purchase, da da da, and it was giving me the number and all of that, all this information. And I was impressed because the message came through WhatsApp and it was kind of personal. So it's very interesting how that transition is taking place in the, basically the operational logistics world. But I believe we are also seeing it in the HR right now, in a lot of the responsibilities and tasks. So do you think that will replace HR? Is that a threat? Is that basically something that will help us become more strategic? I guess today we are going to hear from our panelists around this area specifically, and what is basically happening in this space, and how is that going to support the HR business partners doing their job differently. So let me welcome the panelists. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us today, Mr. Pradeep, Hiba, and Mr. Mahdi. I guess let me start with you, Hiba. How might HR as a function evolve post the rise of technology and this digital transformation? What do you think of this area?
I'm an advocate that technology is not going to be a threat for HR, although there is a lot of concerns that some of the roles that we have today in HR are going to be eliminated at a certain point. I do agree with that, but I don't agree with the fact that we will come and we will not have a job in the future. I think technology is going to change the landscape of HR. We are going to see the role of HR and the capabilities of HR actually changing very significantly than the HR that we know today. One of the things that I see it happening for sure is the downsizing of HR. We will definitely downsize. We will not get rid of those big, massive HR departments. And one of the reasons behind that is because the technology is going to allow us to get rid of all the mundane, redundant work that we're doing today. All that transactional work that's bogging us in the day-to-day is no longer going to be what we will be doing in the future. I think we're going to evolve as one of the organization dynamic capabilities, which is something that we are not necessarily are today. And with that change, I see us bringing in more skills into the HR landscape. I don't think HR is going to be that department where when you don't know what to do with people, you just send them to HR and you end up having a lot of people who don't even know what HR is doing HR. I think it's going to become a very, very competitive role in the future. We are going to see a lot of new skills coming in, and actually people who are going to be playing that role are going to be very qualified and have a very strong background to be able to work in that space. So I think with the rise of technology, a shift in the field and the function of HR is evident. Our relationships are going to change. We're no longer going to have a day-to-day relationships with line manager as we do today, because that's not going to be our focus. In fact, a lot of what we're doing today from a people management is going to move out of HR to the line managers and to the people managers. Our relationship is going to be with a very niche top in the organization, which is your CEO and the rest of the executives, because this is where you will be focusing on. This is where you're going to be informing the future of the organization. You wouldn't have time to manage day-to-day operations. I think that's what
So let me shift over to Pradeep. What do you think are the impediments basically facing HR adapting these new technologies? Obviously, as you mentioned, you have a very optimistic view that basically it will not replace, but I believe that some HR professionals may see it as a threat. So how can we overcome this resistance, if I may say?
Nearly 4 years back, when I was being interviewed by Rack Ceramics for the CHRO position, one of the board members asked me this question, Pradeep, how do you upgrade your knowledge? And it was a simple looking question, but each word was very important. And it was upgrade, it was not update. If you would have asked me, how do you update your knowledge, it was an easy answer. Because updating is just being aware of what is happening. There is some animal called AI, and I should be aware of what it can do. But when we talk about upgrade, it means learning the technique or technology and learning how to use it and finding out what is the use, and also being able to teach others how to use it. So that is what is HR's role going to be, or is, that we should enable others to use the technology and not be afraid of, as Eva has said. But yes, somebody yesterday's presentation he has said that I think it was Jessup who said that technology is an enabler for mindset change. It is not the answer itself, but it is an enabler. So I thought that if we consider it as an enabler and enable our associates to use it, and whether it is IT people or whether it is the business people, and we in HR I am also equally responsible. We give all technology stuff to the IT people, and we think that it is IT people who have to bring the technology to the and we are just to do strategy, and we are just to tell them what results you are expected. And as a result, what happens? An IT guy knows more HR than an HR guy. So he knows how your performance management system, how the workflow goes, what are the integrities, and how it should function, what should be the workflow, where it should go. He knows better, and he tells you, boss. So he is driving, not HR is not driving HR. It is the and technology in a very positive way I am saying. It is the IT or those experts are driving HR. So we have given on a platter our own function to others. Then why we should be worried about?
It's already taken. It's already taken. Well, thank you, Pradeep. I believe that you're mentioning a very important topic. Is that how can we be at the forefront of this change rather than becoming a lagging party, and then others will come and fill the gap, right? Mahdi, you mentioned something very interesting when we were in the break room. You mentioned around happiness and how HR technology or HR bots can support that. I believe there was a link to the previous topic. You want to say something about that?
Well, look, yes, I want to say something with this specific. However, it's only fair to mention that HR at some point has reached a point where we need to give up the administrative, repetitive tasks that are time-consuming. Everybody who has been in HR for the last 15 years, probably they can recall very well when they started their career. They were focusing on personnel, they were focusing on administration that is time-consuming. And they are known as to be the zero-sum activities. So as an HR, you are not valued by the business in terms of value you bring to the table. So ever since technology came in, and that's what I encourage, and we will be probably talking more further about it, we will be having more time to focus on key initiatives, which also will be discussed. But since you asked about the happiness is one of the initiatives, and I had the privilege and the honor to be part of the first group that the Prime Minister's office in UAE, with collaboration with Wharton Business School, to have the Chief Happiness Officers certificates for private sector. Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is encouraging people to walk in the company smiling, right? But when you look at the science behind it, at the impact of happy employee on performance and productivity, then this is something as a stakeholder, as a business, you look at and you go serious about it and you try to embrace it immediately.
Wonderful, thank you, Mahdi. Any questions from the crowd we'd like to ask our panelists?
Yeah,
Please.
this question for you, Dr. Heba, maybe you later on can also comment on that. Regarding the technology, how this is affecting the HR business. To some extent, I do agree with you. It's not going to be bad on the HR business. It will help some, I believe that. But you mentioned maybe it's going to downsize the manpower of the organization. How do you think HR can also help in that regard? Job description, all development of the job, create a job. The job do some bottleneck. So in that regard, how HR can help in that?
Well, to begin with, I'm not really sure that we're going to have job descriptions in the future. I don't think we're going to be hiring people for jobs anymore. I think we're going to be hiring people for what they add.
But I'm referring actually to that, so what is the job going to be created in the future? HR is, it's got to be having a role in that, in helping the organization.
But why do you want to continue doing that role? You're not the hiring manager, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
So-
But we are assisting in recruitment as well, so we also have our hands in that field.
I personally believe that the role that you're going to be playing as an HR business partner in the future is more of a coach and a mentor and an advisor to the line manager. I don't see us, and that's my personal view, I don't see us having job descriptions in the future. I think this is going to die in the very, very near future, actually. I see us being a good assessor and a good assessor of talent and people and their capabilities. And through that, this is how we're going to be able to support the line managers or the hiring managers in making the right decision or bringing in the right people into their teams. Because there won't be a job description, I want to put money on that in the next couple of years, you will not necessarily focus on hiring people for technical skills. You're going to be hiring people for attitudes and behavior, and this is where your role is going to become even more significant to support the line manager. If there are job descriptions in the next 5 to 6 years, I really don't want to continue being in this function, and I don't know how to handle that because, how many of you in this room actually today work following their job description? How many of you have been hired with a job description and then you go to work and you're doing a completely different job? So if that's our reality today, you can only imagine how it's going to evolve in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think
I'd just like to add, actually, in the lighter vein, there are two groups of employees. One is 40 plus and one under 40. and the entire number is lower than that. Maybe I'm slightly gracious because there are some people, I want to go home also. but the approach is different. The younger generation, sorry to use this terminology, we are all young, but the so-called, they are more hungry, they are more enthusiastic to learn the technology, to learn the usage, to master it, to drive it. And look at, if somebody asks me, I will start giving answers. Look, technology is fine, but there is a human element. There is a emotional element. There is a feeling element, and ultimately, these all cannot be taken up or understood by the machine.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to continue what we are doing. So now, I don't know what is the majority of this room goes which way. But the answer would be somewhere in between. We have to have the technology, we have to use it, and also understand that there is this emotional feel and happiness feel and happiness index, and all these things are important, and HR has to find out a balancing act and see that we balanced it well in our role.
let me take it to another angle. Mahdi, what do you think the stakeholders, in this case our business, our customers, internal customers, expect from HR in light of this kind of revolution?
They're the people who are going to pay for the technology. The first thing is to challenge technology. Look, if I recall a few years back, if you're about to have a discussion with the business about having technology where we didn't have a variety of choices, you would have only to go with the big ERPs, and you would have to invest millions of dirhams or a couple of thousands of dollars. Today we have the variety. So I strongly believe that the business would expect us, by doing this investment, and I like what Jason called it yesterday, to show them the value of investing. So that would be by HR handing over all the administrative tasks, personnel, including recruitment, and have this mindset shift in terms of focusing on initiatives. HR should start, as HR, we need to start focusing more on value, creating value to the company rather than activities. We need to start as HR to satisfy our stakeholders. We need to better connect with them, to start understanding, have this time that we have saved by giving all the tasks or the activities to technology, to start focusing on understanding the outside factors, to understand the economical situation, to understand the business context we work in, try to understand the work settings, where are we operating, in which region, try to understand the political, the economical, the social factors impacting our businesses, connect more with stakeholders, with internal customers, with external ones, including investors. That's what the business look at. While keeping all this in mind, we need to also look at the HR department to build a strong HR department, bring all the talents together, and try to align and integrate our practices, right? Of course, the business, I would proudly say they will focus on what do you bring in terms of knowledge and action to the talent equation. What can you provide the business? At the end of the day, they will see that they have invested, irrespective of how much they have invested in technology. They want to see what value we have delivered. So we need to deliver value. We need to use technology to track our progress, and we have to have analytics and matrix to measure our success. By doing so, the business will start understanding the value of investment. It's about time. Look, simply it's about time. We need to embark this discussion about, yes, we want technology. Is technology going to replace HR? I think this is already here. It's a reality now. We have to move on. We have to embrace technology, and we have to focus on the HR delivering value rather than activities.
Excellent. Which I think brings, I think you alluded to this, both of you, on what would be the competencies that HR professionals need to have in this transformation stage?
See, I want to build on something that Pradeep said earlier, which is we've given away our function to non-HR people like in IT. I actually think that's going to continue being the case. We are going to start seeing a lot of new skills coming into the HR from non-HR people. With the rise of predictive analytics, we're going to become, we need to learn data science, we need to learn understanding data, and how are we going to, make our decisions based on these data. So I see more data scientists coming into the HR function. In fact, today, which is not a surprise, some of the best CHROs that I've personally met don't come from an HR background. They are actually either from the sales organization going into an HR, or from their finance, or even from IT. And one of the reasons why they're doing very, very good in that role is because they have what we probably have forgotten, or something that we might have started with and it died along the time, which is the passion of people. So I see the future as I see HR as upskilling itself more, becoming more tech savvy, quickly adapting to technology and AI and how to use that, moving more towards data science. Again, as I mentioned earlier, more of a coaching, mentor, internal consultant skill to the CEOs and to the top organizations. Strategic thinking goes without even saying. But the most important skill that I think we are going to be able to develop, and hopefully we will develop, is being forward thinkers. Today, we are very much in the reactive seat, waiting for the organization to go left, and we just follow and run and chase whatever is happening. Tomorrow, I see HR actually developing the skill of being forward thinkers, predicting the future, and predicting what might come to the organization, and predicting how the workforce is going to change, and accordingly how the organization is going to look like in the next 4 to 5 years, which is a very new role to what we're doing today.
In short, managing people is not going to be an art.
No.
It is going to be a science.
There's lots of science.
Very difficult science.
Yes. Let me open the floor if there are any questions from the crowd. Please.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think this is more for you because
Heba, it's on demand.
Just making it easy question.
Job descriptions and this and that. And I agree with you to an extent. So people should be seen more for what they're bringing into the organization, what they're contributing, rather than strict job descriptions. But if you look at the normal flow of organization design, going on to job description, going on to job board hierarchy, going on to job grades, and then the corresponding pay structure. What are your thoughts on how big organizations, I'm talking about big organizations of 50,000 employees, 60,000 employees, okay, how are they going to manage salaries? How are they going to pay people when there is no way to actually structure what these people do and the worth of the jobs they are doing through job evaluation and pay structures? What are your views?
See, there are two schools of thought here about salaries. There is a school of thought that kind of advocates paying for a job based on what is the scope of that job and what's the output and deliverables. And there is a school of thought that says you're going to be paying for skills and paying for people. I think the future is going to see us more valuing individuals and valuing their skill set and what they're bringing into the organization, rather than I go in and I pay every single accountant that I have the same salary because they happen to be doing exactly the same job. Reality is no two are doing the same job. Even if they are on the same job title, they are bringing in different value. So again, just on the point of hierarchy, and we've heard quite a lot in the last 2 days and earlier this morning in David's presentation, hierarchy organizations are going to start to slowly fade. It's not going to happen quickly. It's going to take us a few years to see that actually coming into place. And when you start breaking the hierarchy, you start as well changing your job design and how you start paying people. So people are no longer going to be paid because they are the most senior or higher salary compared to the other. It's going to be paid, you're going to be paid based on the skills and based on your expertise. And that's why I think we're going to be seeing talent are going to become very competitive, because they are today aware of that fact. And the investments that talent, individual proactive talents, all talents are putting into their own development is just some people that we see at a very young age today applying to jobs, and it's like, wow, this is not something that I have seen a couple of years ago. I probably haven't done that much investment in myself when I was at that age.
Now, don't you think that will create so many standards in a big organization? I keep emphasizing big because it's easy to deal with this kind of thing when you are talking about a smaller organization.
Correct.
It's easy,
Correct.
right? But when you talk about a big organization, to be able to analyze and see what skills people are bringing into the organization, line managers will have to do it.
Correct.
You just kind of facilitate, and they do it, right? And so you might find some lines doing it very scientifically, very well, they're able to justify and prove what they're doing. You find some other lines that are doing it very subjectively, okay? And so in one organization, they don't have an EVP anymore because there are several standards. Everything is happening in different departments. And so, while not disagreeing with what you are saying, I'm just trying to develop that thought flow. How is it going to be in the future as we think about what role we play in advising the board? How are we going to advise along these areas of looking at the skills people are bringing in to pay them, okay? But ensuring that we don't produce several standards in one company.
Correct. And it goes back to what we said earlier. You are going to be empowered by data in the organization. Your job is going to be breathing on data. You are going to be able to advise and make decisions around people and standards based on the data that you have. I think talent today are more prepared to accept the fact that I will come into an organization and I will be rewarded based on the value that I add. So if I know that Pradeep is coming in and he's adding more value than myself, I expect him to be paid more than I am. But I also expect myself to start upskilling myself to gain and to make more money as I go. Again, one of the things that I want to stress on, today's talent are not driven by money and by salaries. Those people and mindset have changed. They want an experience, they want a life experience, they want to live in multiple countries, even in 1 year if possible, to create that experience for themselves. And that is going to create a big challenge in organizations, let alone HR, because the whole concept of paying people more to retain them is going to fade.
Great, excellent. Pradeep, you want to say something?
No, I am only trying to say that, job descriptions may go, but jobs will stay.
Yes.
The expectation about the jobs will be different. We are getting into an amoeba organization structure ultimately, and people will be paid on the project basis.
Yes.
The project they will have to handle, and success of that project will get them remuneration. Where fixed will be reduced and variable will increase. It can, in some organization, it can go up to 70% of variable and 30% of fixed, whereas we are used to 80, 90, 80, 20 principle. So that situation will go. Yes.
And also, let's not forget that even today there is a rise towards total rewards and flexibility around how people are rewarded. Today, some of our organizations are still offering exactly the same to everyone, but there's a shift now happening that when you join the organization, you have, the concept of personalization is taking over HR. So, you and I can be hired for the same job, but my life circumstances are different than yours, and I prefer actually to be rewarded in, I don't have kids, so I don't want to have schooling, but I do want to have an expensive gym, membership. So we're going to be seeing that shift happening in how we reward people.
Already happening in some
Yes.
Yes, it is, yes.
Let me ask Mahdi a question. I mean, in your role working in the Prime Minister's office, and working with all of the private sector organizations, how do you see the adoption of these technological advances? I mean, we have seen, for example, in the Saudi market, we are seeing that companies are still struggling with implementing the basic ERP system, Oracle, SAP, etc. I mean, we're at that stage, but are we seeing here more advances in technology?
Yes. The straight answer is yes, because one, there is more variety in terms of the offering of technology. Nowadays, you can pay reasonably affordable prices for technology. Two, most of the companies are moving, who are embraced and implemented technology. They have it part of their transformation. And companies, I think, including Emirates, when they moved into the digital transformation, or part of the transformation was the digital transformation. That's why we hear in many companies when we talk about transformation, it's always digital. That's is the next word to it. And also, like what Jason also highlighted yesterday, to have a digital agenda as an organization. So back to the core question, yes, more and more companies are implementing it.
Excellent. Raki, question to you. Do you require HR business partners, or would you like to have an HR bot working for you?
I would say that it is both. I mean, an HR partner, business partner who can operate and who can use what say. That is what I want. But in this part, we are still far behind using bots. I mean, there are organizations which are using it, but we are still in a very traditional way. The expectations from HR is also only on admin function or HR operation function rather than the higher or next staff. So there is a long way for us to travel, and therefore I consider that it is HR's responsibility to take the organization to that level.
Excellent, excellent. Last question before we close, please.
I'm curious, if you were here if we were here in 2023 and you were on the panel, we're talking about adoption and the speed of adoption and employee upskilling. What's the conversation going to be different like in 2023? Because we need to progress fast, right? Instead of business partners or business bots, that's going to be very different. What are those foreseeable things we're going to be talking about so that we think now of what's coming then?
Anybody have
Do
an
you
answer?
have specific one they want to hear from? Well, look, I think we're moving. The next discussion is, I would want to tap a little bit on what Dr. Hiba just mentioned with regards to the skills. When you look at the different skills that you have, we're moving into a talent equation rather than talent pool. Earlier, we used to think we have a pool of talents. A pool of talents in 2023 will be irrelevant or be obsolete. We'll be talking about a talent equation. We will be talking about the collective capabilities that an organization has. It's not what are the capabilities I have personally. It's the capabilities that complete and matches with what Dr. Hiba, Pradeep, or Abdullah will have being in one company.
Wonderful. Any last questions? Well, thank you very much for listening. I believe if I allow one final thing to be said by each one of you, what would you say about the future of adoption of
I would
technology?
just take a question, and my thought is that maybe our discussion would be managements will ask this question. We are spending so much on HR. What value HR is getting us back in the company? What is the cost saving? What is the manpower efficiency? What is the contribution of HR? So that discussion will still remain, and I think we have to prepare ourselves from that point of view.
If I would have one thing to end this conversation is the future looks really, really promising. I think the function of HR is on for a ride. We all have to brace ourselves, and we all have to be very proud that today we are in that space, because we have a lot to do and we have a lot to prove to our organizations, but more importantly to ourselves. So hopefully I can see you in the next few years, and we will see what conversations we will have. We might be talking about who we're going to be sending to Mars, but the world is going to be obviously changing, and we are going to be part of that world and not left behind as we usually are.
Well, the last thought I would like to leave this session with is we need to embark the discussion or the debate with regards to technology versus replacing the human or what it will enable. I think we have to agree that technology is a reality. We have to move on, and we have to move on very fast, just at the same pace that technology is changing and improving. And just be, as you said, as an HR, start focusing on the value, on what value we deliver, and remain back to put behind us all the discussions with regards to technology, administration function. That's past.
We need to move
in the future. Move on.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much.